Something happened, maybe weeks ago, maybe years ago, and your brain keeps going back to it. A conversation you handled badly, a moment that embarrassed you, a decision you regret, a version of events you can't stop replaying. You tell yourself to move on. You know it's over. You know thinking about it changes nothing, and yet your brain pulls you back anyway, sometimes at 2 a.m., sometimes in the middle of doing something completely unrelated, like it has its own agenda. It does, and understanding that agenda is the only thing that actually helps. Most people think rumination is a sign of weakness, that mentally strong people just let things go. But rumination is not a character flaw. It's a cognitive process. Your brain runs automatically when it believes a problem is unresolved. Your brain is not punishing you by replaying the past. It's trying to protect you. It's searching for something it hasn't found yet, and until it finds it, it keeps searching. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain has a built-in threat detection and resolution system. When something negative happens, a conflict, a failure, an embarrassing moment, your brain flags it as unresolved. It stores it with heightened emotional intensity so it's easy to retrieve. And then it periodically pulls it back into conscious awareness, hoping that this time you'll find the resolution it's looking for. The answer to what went wrong, the thing you should have said, the way you could have handled it differently. Your brain is not dwelling, it's problem-solving, just very inefficiently. This process has a name. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect, applied to emotional experience. Your brain gives preferential attention to incomplete or unresolved experiences over resolved ones. Finished things get filed away. Unfinished things stay active. They keep surfacing because your brain hasn't closed the loop, and your brain cannot close a loop it doesn't have an ending for. There's a second mechanism making this worse. Negative experiences are encoded in memory more strongly than positive ones. This is called negativity bias in memory consolidation. When something emotionally painful happens, your brain releases stress hormones that literally strengthen the neural encoding of that memory. The stronger the encoding, the more easily the memory is retrieved. This is why you can forget 100 good days, but remember one bad moment from 3 years ago with perfect clarity. Your brain wasn't broken that day, it was doing its job. Painful experiences get priority storage because historically those were the most important things to remember and learn from. The problem is that in modern life this system fires constantly. Small social mistakes, minor embarrassments, low-stakes regrets. Your brain treats all of them with the same elevated storage priority it would use for genuinely dangerous experiences. So your memory library fills up with vivid, detailed recordings of every awkward moment, every wrong decision, everything you wish you'd done differently. And your brain reviews that library regularly, looking for resolutions that mostly never come. So what actually gives your brain the resolution it's searching for? 3 things work neurologically. The first is deliberate closure. Your brain keeps replaying events because it hasn't processed them completely. Writing about the experience in specific detail. What happened, what you felt, what you learned, what you would do differently, gives your brain the resolution it's been searching for. Psychologists call this expressive writing, and studies show it measurably reduces intrusive memory retrieval. You're not reliving the experience, you're closing the file. The second is reframing the memory's meaning. Your brain stores memories alongside their emotional labels. If an event is labeled as failure or threat, your brain keeps it active. If you can genuinely shift the label to lesson, to data, to something that happened rather than something that defines you, the memory loses some of its retrieval priority. This doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. It means deciding what the experience means going forward. That decision is yours to make. Your brain will follow. The third is interrupting the replay loop in the moment. When your brain pulls up a past memory and starts replaying it, The worst thing you can do is engage with it fully. Full engagement strengthens the neural pathway, making it more likely to surface again. Instead, acknowledge the thought without following it. Notice it. Name it. My brain is replaying this again. Then redirect your attention deliberately to something specific in your immediate environment. What can you see right now? What can you hear? That sensory redirect pulls your brain's processing resources away from the memory loop and into the present moment. It doesn't erase the memory. It weakens the habit of retrieving it compulsively. Your brain is not your enemy when it pulls you into the past. It's running an old protective program that was designed for a simpler world. One where unresolved threats needed to stay front of mind until they were solved. You live in a world where most of the things your brain flags as unresolved are things that are simply over. Not dangerous, just over. The goal is not to never think about the past. The goal is to think about it on your terms, deliberately, productively, and then close the file. One step simpler. Next time your brain pulls you into the past, don't fight it. Ask what it's looking for, give it a real answer, then close the loop. If this helped you understand why your brain works this way, subscribe to One Step Simpler. One idea, one step, every video.